that together we are going to deal with.
Yeah.
Number one, in America today, we have a corrupt campaign finance system. What democracy means to me is one person, one vote. You want to vote for me? Great. You want to vote against me? That's okay. But you don't have the right to buy elections because you're a billionaire. When you have billionaire families like the Koch brothers and others, you know who the Koch brothers are. When you have the Koch brothers and a few other billionaires prepared to spend $900 million in this election cycle, that is more money than either the Democratic or Republican parties are going to spend. That is not democracy, that is oligarchy. We are going to revitalize and reinvigorate American democracy. We're going to overturn this disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision. And we're going to take on all of those Republican cowardly governors who want to suppress the vote. In the year 2016, we should be making it easier for people to vote, not harder for people to vote. Not only do we have a corrupt campaign finance system, we have a rigged economy. And what that means is we have the most unfair distribution of wealth and income of any major country on earth. When the top 0.1% now owns almost as much wealth as the bottom 90%, that is not only obscene, it is unsustainable, and it is un-American. Today in America, we have people working 2 or 3 jobs, trying to cobble together the income and the health care that they need. You got mom working, you got dad working, you got the kids working, and despite all of that work, and we work the longest hours of any people in the industrialized world, despite that, 58% of all new income goes to the top 1%. Are you guys ready for a radical idea? Well, here's the radical idea. Together, we are going to create an economy that works for all of us, not just the 1%. But it's not just a corrupt campaign finance system. It is not just a rigged economy. Today in America, we have a broken criminal justice system. Now, what this campaign is about, the heart of what this campaign is about, is asking the American people to think outside of the box, outside of the status quo. Do not accept something just because it exists. Because if people throughout history had accepted what exists, nothing would have ever changed. And what exists today in America is we have more people in jail than any other country on earth. We are spending $80 billion a year to lock up 2.2 million Americans, mostly African Americans, Latinos, and Native Americans. That is a disgrace. So together what we are going to do is end institutional racism in this country. We are going to make major reforms with regard to police departments in this country. And we are going to end the disgrace of having more people in jail than other countries. Now, as all of you know, I am running for the Democratic nomination for president. And I'm running against former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. And I want to just take a moment to talk about some of the differences between Secretary Clinton and myself. Now, if our country has a corrupt campaign finance system, there is something wrong when Secretary Clinton has a super PAC which is collecting millions of dollars from Wall Street, from the fossil fuel industry, from the drug companies. Now, every politician, whether they are Democratic or Republican, they always say, well, yes, I'm getting huge amounts of money, but it doesn't impact me. Really? Then why would Wall Street be giving you $15 million? Furthermore, as many of you may know, Secretary Clinton has given a number of speeches behind closed doors to Wall Street firms like Goldman Sachs. And for those speeches, she is paid $225,000 a speech. Now, the way I see it is if you're going to give a speech and get $225,000, it must be an extraordinarily brilliant speech. You know, it must be really opening new vistas of human thought. And I think that it is appropriate for Secretary Clinton to share those transcripts with the rest of the country. Now, Secretary Clinton says she is prepared to do that if other candidates do the same. So let me make a dramatic announcement to you all today. I am prepared at this moment to release all of the transcripts of the speeches that I gave to Wall Street. Are you ready for that? No speeches. And I just cannot imagine why Wall Street did not invite me in to pay me up $225,000 for a speech. And you know what I would have told Wall Street if they invited me? And I would have said, we are going to break up the large financial institutions in this country. We are going to reestablish Glass-Steagall legislation. I don't know, maybe that's why they didn't invite me, but we'll see. Now, furthermore, when we talk about how we raise money, I am enormously proud to tell you something that I honestly never believed that I could tell you, because I didn't think it could happen. But the truth is that since we began this campaign, we have received over 5 million individual campaign contributions. That is more campaign contributions than any candidate at this point in a campaign in American history. Anybody here know what the average campaign contribution is? I don't know why I love that response. And that response and that knowledge and that reality is enormously important, because what it shows is that we are funding a winning national campaign without being dependent on Wall Street, billionaires, and the drug companies. There is another very important issue which separates Secretary Clinton and myself. It is not a sexy issue. The media never talks about it. But just because media doesn't talk about it, you should understand that it is very, very important. Because there is an inverse relationship. When media talks a lot about something, usually not important. When they don't talk about something, it is very important. And here's what you never see on television, literally almost never. And that is our trade policy. Now I know it's not sexy, but it is enormously important. Let me tell you why. What we have seen since 2001 in this country is the loss of 60,000 factories. 60,000 factories in Illinois, in Vermont, in Ohio, in Michigan, Indiana, all over this country. And what that means is when those factories are gone, good paying jobs are gone. What our trade policy for 30, 40 years has been is corporate America saying, why should I pay workers in Illinois a living wage, 15, 20, 25 bucks an hour? Why should I have to obey environmental laws when I can shut down here, move to Mexico, move to China, and hire people there for pennies an hour? And the result of that is the loss of millions of jobs in this country, the exploitation of poor people around the world, and something else, a race to the bottom. Now listen to this. Today, many of the new manufacturing jobs being created in America pay significantly less than those jobs paid 15, 20 years ago. In other words, we are in a race to the bottom. Instead of wages going up, they're going down. And that is why we are going to fundamentally transform our trade policies. We're going to tell corporate America that they better start investing in this country, not in China, not in other countries. All of us are concerned about poverty around the world, but the United States can help poor people around the world without destroying the middle class of this country. Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard mentioned another very important issue which separates Secretary Clinton from myself. In 2002 in Congress, we had a debate over the most important foreign policy issue in the modern history of this country. I listened very carefully to what President Bush and Vice President Cheney had to say about Iraq. I listened closely and I concluded that they were not telling the truth. I voted against the war. Secretary Clinton running the Senate heard the same evidence. She voted for the war. That war turned out to be one of the worst foreign policy mistakes in the history of our country. What this campaign is about is listening to the people and the needs of the people, even if those needs and that pain doesn't get on television. We are listening to workers in Illinois and in Vermont and all over this country who tell me they cannot make it on $8, $9, or $10 an hour. And that is why we are going to end and do away with the $7.25 federal minimum wage, a starvation wage. That is why we are going to raise the minimum wage to a living wage, $15 an hour. It is not, and again, this is thinking outside of the box. This is looking at the status quo and saying the status quo is not working. People should not have to work long hours and end up in poverty. Somebody in America who works 40 hours a week should not be living in poverty. End of discussion. Which is not discussed at all. But I want to reiterate to you, we have got to determine the important issues. Don't let TV and radio make that decision for you. And here is an issue of great consequence, that in Illinois, in my state, all over America, we have millions of senior citizens trying to get by on $11,000, $12,000 a year Social Security. And you know what? Nobody can get by on $11,000, $12,000 a year Social Security. Now, many of my Republican colleagues in Congress, their solution is to want to cut Social Security. Well, I have bad news for them. We are not going to cut Social Security. We're going to raise Social Security money. This campaign is listening to the veterans of our country, people who put their lives on the line to defend us. They demand to get the health care and the benefits they were promised, and we are going to provide that health care. This campaign is listening to young people. And what young people all across this country are saying is, how does it happen that just because we did the right thing, we went out and we got an education, why are we stuck with $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 of student debt? That's going to take us decades to pay off. And those young people are right. Young people, Americans, should not be punished for getting a higher education. They should be rewarded. In the year 2016, when we talk about public education, it is not good enough to talk about free public education from the first grade to the 12th grade. The world has changed, the economy has changed, people need more education. That is why I believe that in the year 2016, when we talk about public education, we must be talking about making public colleges and universities tuition free. This is not a radical idea. This is an idea that exists in Germany, it exists in Scandinavia, it exists in countries throughout the world. If we are going to be successful in the global economy, we need the best educated workforce in the world, that's you. And we should not be punishing people for getting that education. Now, people say to me, they say, well, Bernie, you're a nice guy, you want to give away all of these things. You want to make public colleges and universities tuition free, you want to lower student debt, how are you going to pay for it? Let me tell you how I am going to pay for it. We must impose a tax on Wall Street speculation. When Wall Street's greed, recklessness, and illegal behavior helped to destroy our economy, guess what happened? Congress bailed them out. Now it is Wall Street's time to help the middle class of this. This campaign is listening to women. And what women are saying is, how does it happen that when I get a job, I end up making 79 cents on the dollar compared to men who do the same work? And the women are right. What we're dealing with here is nothing more than old-fashioned sexism, and together we're going to end that. And I hope that every man in this room will stand with the women in the fight for pay equity. This campaign is standing with our brothers and sisters in the Latino community. And they are asking, why does it happen that we cannot pass comprehensive immigration reform and a path toward citizenship? And I agree. This campaign is listening to the Native American community. People who have been lied to, people who have been cheated, people who have seen treaty after treaty discarded. Today, it is time to honor and respect the Native American community, and as president, that is exactly what I'm doing. Now, what this campaign is about is telling you something that no other candidate for president will tell you, and that is that no president, not Bernie Sanders, not anybody else, can do it alone. We need to stand together. We need to stand together to create millions of decent jobs, rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure. Michigan a few weeks ago, and I heard from parents whose children were being poisoned by lead in their water supply. And while Flint may be the worst case, similar problems exist in many communities around America. This is America. Our water systems, our wastewater plants, our bridges, our roads should not be collapsing. $1 trillion investment will rebuild our crumbling infrastructure, put 13 million people back to work. I am a member of the Senate Committee on the Environment. I have talked to scientists all over the world. The debate over climate change is over. Climate change is real. It is caused by human activity. It is already causing massive problems in our country and around the world. And what the scientists tell us, and this is heavy-duty stuff, what they tell us is that we do not get our act together now, we are going to see more drought, more floods, more extreme weather disturbances, more rising sea levels, more acidification of the ocean, more international conflict as people fight over limited natural resources. Our job is to work with Russia, China, India, countries all over the world to take on the fossil fuel industry and to tell them that their short-term profits are not worth more than the future of this planet. Our job is to transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. And when we do that, we not only save the planet, we create millions of good jobs. Now, I hope all of you understand how it happens that not one Republican candidate for president agrees with the science. Not one Republican candidate for president has the guts to tell the American people that climate change is real. And you know why that is so? It has every everything to do with a corrupt campaign finance system. Because if a Republican candidate told the truth, on that day he would lose his campaign funding from the Koch brothers and the fossil fuel industry. And I say to the Republican candidates, worry more about the future of this planet than your campaign contributions. Do the right thing. We've got Republican candidates all over this country who are talking about family values. You ever hear Republicans talk about family values, how much they love families? But I want everybody here to understand what they mean. What they mean is that no woman in this room, in this state, in this country, from their perspective, should have the right to control her own body. I disagree. What Republicans mean by family values is that our gay brothers and sisters should not have the right to get married. I disagree. There are many issues that are out there, and one of the most important has to do with the reality that America, our great country, is the only major nation on earth that does not guarantee health care to all people. We're the only one. Now, I have been criticized for saying this, so let me say it again. Let me say it as clearly as I can, so there is no ambiguity here. That is, I believe that health care is a right of all people, not a privilege. Under President Obama's leadership with the Affordable Care Act. It's a good thing. But today, despite the Affordable Care Act, 29 million people have no health insurance. Many of you are underinsured, large co-payments and large deductibles, and we pay by far the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. You're right. You want to hear crazy? Crazy is when 1 out of 5 Americans cannot afford to purchase the prescription drugs they need, while at the same time, the top 3 drug companies made $45 billion in profits last year. That's crazy. And even crazier is the fact that we end up spending far, far more than any other country per person on healthcare. What we must do, in my view, is guarantee healthcare to all of our people as a right through a Medicare for all healthcare. Accused of many, many things in this campaign, and one of the charges leveled at me is, Bernie is a nice guy, he combs his hair great. one of the best dresses in Washington, never uses the word huge. But despite all of that, Bernie cannot win a general election. You know what? You're right, they're wrong. It just turns out that in the last major national poll, Wall Street Journal, NBC, Bernie Sanders was defeating Donald Trump by 18 points. Other polls had it at 15 points, 12 points, whatever. Statewide polls in Michigan, last poll there had us up by 19 points over Trump. But the real reason that we will defeat Donald Trump goes well beyond polls. And it has everything to do with the fact that the American people are not going to elect a president of the United States who insults Mexicans and all of Latin America. The American people are not going to elect a president who insults Muslims. The American people are not going to elect a president who insults women. The American people are not going to elect a president who insults African Americans. I want you all to remember what some have forgotten, is that several years ago, Donald Trump was one of the leaders of the so-called birther movement. You remember that? And what that movement was about, and it was an outrageous and scandalous effort to try to delegitimize the presidency of Barack Obama. That's what it's about. To really cast out and say, well, you know what, Obama's not really the president. Now, a funny thing, here's a funny story. My father was born in Poland. All right, for Poland. Barack Obama's father was born in Kenya. But a funny thing, nobody has ever asked me for my birth certificate. You think it just might have something to do with the color of my skin? The American people will defeat Donald Trump because they understand, and we all understand, that bringing people together, black and white and Latino and Asian American, gay and straight, men and women, people born in this country, people who have come into this country, we are bringing people together. Trump's dividing people up. Because the American people understand that community, the sense of helping each other, supporting each other, trumps selfishness. And most importantly, I think, the American people will defeat Trump because they understand that every religion on earth, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, all understand and teach us that love trumps hatred. This campaign is not just about electing a president, it is about transforming America through a political revolution. This campaign is about making Americans understand that each and every one of us has enormous power if we are prepared to utilize that power. This campaign is about understanding that if we stand together, there is nothing we cannot accomplish. On this Tuesday, there's going to be a very important election here in Illinois. If there is a large voter turnout, we will win.